Might be okay this time. Okay, let's try that again, shall we? We'll pretend the first blip never happened. What? Oh, and welcome, friends! Happy 420 Blaze It to all who celebrate. I had the weirdest blip here, but we seem to be okay? Yeah, okay, we're just going to ignore it. It's fine, it's fine. No, I totally believe. We're a sensible bunch. We can come together and pretend like that never happened, right? Bless you! I'll tell you why. Okay. Yeah, looks like we're doing good. Right. Hello, friends. Happy Thursday. 420 Blaze It. How are you all doing? Again, apologies for late starts and nonsense. Really has just been a week of shite sleep. Right. Yeah. I'd love to tell you all I've been doing wild and exciting things. Oh, I guess I did catch up with Chilby last night for the planning of the running of the Slug Cats. That's going to be rad. Oh, excuse me. Wow, I went to space there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I would say, like, after hanging out with Chorby, I was like, you know what? Gonna relax. There's nothing else to be doing tonight. Gonna try and get a sensible night. No. I ended up rewatching a whole bunch of the it's Half-Life VR, but the AI is self-aware. Because I have a real passion for YouTube nonsense that ends up being more than YouTube nonsense. So, you know, things like Carboys, Defunct Land, if Half-Life VR, the AI was aware, or what have you. God, the title of it gets worse. Like, that kind of wild nonsense. And when I looked at the clock last night, I was like, wow, I'm not tired. What time is it? It's 10 past 4. I'm like, no, please. So, I don't know. I think I'm just going to get high as balls this evening and just pass into the great beyond. Not that great beyond. Not the mortal coil, but just... But yes, how are you all doing, friends? Tell me your tales. I've been catching up on the hot sheets. There's been a weird thing around this body cam game, which released a trailer yesterday. What's the game called? It's called Unrecord. It's a French studio that's making a shooty gunbang game. But the whole game is shot in kind of it's framed in kind of a it's meant to be a body cam, but it feels more like kind of found footage after the fact. The lighting and shader tech they have on this thing makes it look scary real. Now, I'm fascinated by it. Also, there's another horror game at the moment that's using a similar visual style, which I might have to play because it looks like it will scare the absolute pee-pee. Captain Stephanie Barnes, Watto, and welcome. Hello, hello. Hang on, let me see if I can find the other one. Paranormal Tales, that's it. And Paranormal Tales added one little piece of fuckery to their game that I think is going to be like the secret sauce. So, hang on. You know what? Why am I talking about these games and not showing you? Sorry, I'm being a dingleberry. Sorry, forgive me when I'm scoffing toast as well. Megaboss was saying that the body cam effect is essentially using low render quality with a bunch of noise to trick the brain into seeing it as real, rather than going for like photogrammetry or photorealism. But yeah, so the other title that's been bouncing around is this one here. Let's bring it up on main. This is Paranormal Tales. So this is spoopy games. But there. Okay. Watch me careen from topic to topic, wildly excited. So Paranormal Tales is using a similar visual style, but for a horror instead of like a shooty gun bang. But the thing that it's doing that's fucking brilliant is this. For those of you that have like fancy phones or cameras, a lot of them have facial recognition. You know, it sees a thing that looks like a face, it highlights it in a square so that you can frame your shot or like adjust lighting, what have you. They've added it to a horror game so that even if the player can't see it, the camera's like, oh, there's a face there. Absolutely capturing a few of the little tricks that the Paranormal Activity films use so well. Square Pixels, they have a lot of opinions about Unrecord. Well, the thing that I was interested is that the first I saw of it... Hang on, we don't need to watch the whole horror trailer. You get the aesthetic of this, like, handy-cam horror stylings. The thing that was interesting about Unrecord, which is the cop shooty gunbang... the cop shooty gunbang game, is that the first I saw of it was people saying that the trailer absolutely had to be faked. And that was weird, because, like... Game devs are usually the most supportive squad of one another, right? Like, usually they sit around patting each other on the back all the time and having a great time. Like, that's the standard for game dev. And on this one, everyone was like, it's got to be fake. It's got to be fake. There's no way it's real. It's got to be fake. It's impossible. To which point, one of the team working on it actually showed their instance of UE5 and then logging in and starting to run like it live inside the test environment. So it's very curious for game devs to call bullshit on other game devs. So I wonder if the Unrecord team have peed off some people on the quiet. So Moose, what's fascinating about that is that I said something very similar about how that was done. So Moose was saying about with Unrecord, the thing is they're trying to wrap their head around the camera aiming and the hands being wibbly wobbly. Apparently it's a technique that's been used in a lot of games since like Half-Life 1 modding. The bob and the sway is what gives it the weirdness. If the camera head was locked, it would look like there was an accelerometer on the aim, creating a situation where aim down sights is the only thing that gives you like precise aim. Now, Squarepeg, I do agree that thematically this could be problematic. It's a French studio, and they've already done the Ubisoft, this game does not represent or say anything in the space. And Fred, Watto and welcome. So yeah, the statements that they've made about how this absolutely does not reflect any real-world events or, political jiggery-pokery or what have you, is usually the kind of thing people say when they just don't want to be critiqued. We had the same thing with Ready or Not, and I mean, it's a difficult topic to unpack. If you're in a part of the world that doesn't suffer from bad shit going on all the time, and you make something artistically that deals with that, I don't think it's unfair for people who are going through the shit to go, oi, what the hell? And it always comes across as kind of like a privileged naivete. But who knows? It might end up being like a really good deconstruction. I remember having similar feelings to Get Even, and that ended up being very, very good. Also, sorry, where are my manners? Vanderbeest, thank you for filling the pint glass. So, in this regard, I'm curious to see what they do, and at very least, it will be a technical feat. And honestly, like, of games to take umbrage with, yeah, Ready or Not is definitely one that smacks a lot more of that kind of nonsense. Yeah, also, don't look into the community around Ready or Not. Oh, the worst. Greybeard, Watto, and welcome. Lovely to see you. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring us on to heavy topics. It was so weird to see this thing. Oh shit, once again, I can just show you. God, we have the power of the internet. Right, let me pause this. And the power of the internet, so I'll bring this up. So this is Ready or Not running in-engine. So here is the UE instance and everything going on, moving around the editor, and then jumping into live gameplay here. So yeah. Oh, we don't need noise. Shush now. So it's got the wobbly Muppet hands. And just enough sway and shake. I mean, honestly, this one feels like it could be a real bath inducer. There's a few points where in the video demo where they show the main character like jumping over stuff, and I'm just like, you know what? That just makes me think like a Gerda Chunder. You okay, Amos? You gonna puke? He's lying next to me this morning being very adorable, and he kind of like, I heard him rumble, and he was like, oh no. Got up, got out of the bed, stepped off and just went, oh. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Legend, apologies. But yeah, that was the only weird, quirky thing I saw, like, games industry-wise this morning. The rest of the game news, Sony bought a studio that hasn't made a game yet. I haven't had a chance to look into Firewalk Studios, but I bet you 50p in a bag of skips, it's got some, like, old AAA veterans in there. Who is Probably Monsters? So it formed initially as part of Probably Monsters. Oi! Sorry. Gotta yell at the dogs. Okay, now I'm just going down a rabbit hole, because, okay, Firewalk was founded as part of Probably Monsters Studios. And I'm looking over at Probably Monsters, and, like, Firewalk Studios was their only thing? They were making games, I guess. Puppies, so help me, I will get the squirty bottle. Okay, so Phyllis was saying Probably Monsters was a studio founded by a bunch of ex-Bungie devs. Okay, so here's the through line. So that makes a lot more sense. Hey! To Professor Nels, I say Watto and welcome. Hello, hello. Come on in, friend, come on in. Twitch Stewie, Watto and welcome. Hello, hello. Just going through the hot sheets. What's going on video game wise? We were just talking a little bit about Unrecorded, the body cam footage shooty gunbang game that kind of got dragged over the coals like last night and this morning, which was very odd. Interesting. Oh, sorry, Phyllis was saying that Probably Monsters is a local Seattle area dev team. So it's interesting that, like, the Firewatch team were spooled up as part of that, and Sony has bought them, but not probably Monsters. That's weird. Interesting. Weird. Oh, and the other big acquisition that happened was Focus Entertainment, kind of silent publisher to a large number of video games, bought the Train Sim and Train Sim World studio, Dovetail Games. So, yeah, hope you fucking like trains. I'm still mad that Train Sim wouldn't let me do wild and dangerous nonsense. I think that is bullshit. And I'm still mad that I can't take out my frustrations on Southern Rail. I think that's shenanigans. I don't think I'm unfair in saying I should be allowed to do crimes on trains. No, not trains like that, trains. Wolfcrad, thank you for the 100 bits. Anyway, sorry, where are my feckin' manners? Professor Nels, how was your stream? What were you up to? Tell me your tales. Eagle Lives, we did a stream of Train Sim a while back, and I wanted to basically drive a Southern Rail train just to destruction. And they were like, no, you didn't signal at the turning. You're not allowed to be a train driver anymore. Ah, Professor Nels, that sounds like a lovely way to spend an afternoon. Well, here's the thing. When Southern Rail do it wrong, they're allowed to keep going. When I do it wrong in a video game, it's like, nah, game over. And yes, I have forgotten to turn the party hats off once again. No, Legend, they're invisible party hats. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh. I mean, Moose, that would be the perfect solution. Sorry, Moose was saying that if you drive a train very badly in Train Sim, that when you go for like the game over screen, it should launch you in a bus rail replacement service. So you then have to drive a bus terribly around Greater London. But yeah, honestly, that's all that's been really going down today. And that's nice. Thursdays are always a dice roll in the games industry. You never know if it's going to be like wild nonsense or otherwise. And I guess, like, you know, big acquisitions and stuff do count. Oh, as a small aside, Never Alone, a beautiful co-op game, is available free on the Epic Store at the moment. Thank you again, Martin, for popping that in Discord. It is a beautiful game and absolutely worth playing with a close friend or significant other. And it's cute as shit. If you haven't had the chance to play it already, you deserve it, and it's also no money. Oh, in the subject of video games, I know, I heard they're all the rage now. If you've been considering picking up Sea of Thieves and don't have Game Pass, Sea of Thieves is currently 50% off in Steam. And if any of you need friends or pirates, we have so many excellent ones. So many excellent ones on the Longship, so we got you. Yeah, Professor Nell's like, the cultural representation in Never Alone is incredible. The reason why I'm not saying more on it is I'm desperately trying to remember what group of individuals that it is the culture of, and my brain is getting file not found. So, I don't want to misrepresent it, you know? But yeah, friends, like that's really all that's been going down. King of the Castle got an update, so I'm looking forward to going back to that. God, I'm trying to think what else has been going on. Like I said, I went for a pint with Chorby yesterday evening. It was lovely. Planning out for this Saturday's big event, which is going to be a running of the Slugcats. We are going to get 4 people in one game of Rain World, IRL, and it's going to be glorious. Yeah, see, Fearless, that's why I didn't want to say is I couldn't remember which one specifically. But you can play the game for no money right now and find out for your good selves. There we go. Add a little mystery element. On the subject of video games, friends, today we are playing the Forest Cathedral. The Forest Cathedral, as I told you all, was one of my go-to games from... when was it? PAX West last year. Wow, time travel's fucking with my noodle. It was significantly strange and weird in a way that very few games had done that year, and it still has this wonderful bizarrity to it. The TLDR is we play a researcher studying a local forest area, and things start getting weird. However, we're also kind of weird. We have a strange tablet that sees the energy of things, which we can also use to plug in a classic retro platformer into varying devices. And what we do inside the platformer affects the real world. But maybe it's not the real world. Like, anyway, TLDR, it was fascinating and brilliant and weird, and I've been looking forward to sharing it with you all for a while. But just the sheer number of good games and everything going on all at once, I haven't had the chance to pick up a copy. But now I do. So we're going to be getting into that today. And friends, this game has like 5 reviews on Steam. I think the only 2 people who have it even wishlisted are Longshipians, so go figure. So, yeah, it's gonna be weird. Also, once again, happy 420 to those of you who celebrate. Fiona will be busting out a THC Thursday, so we'll be careening over there later on today. We'll get ourselves a good little afternoon. Oh, sorry, friends. Yeah, I think that's really the long and short of what's going down. The current banter topic has obviously been a lot of the nonsense around Twitter being a disaster. Just thoroughly entertaining. I am sadly no longer verified on Twitter. I am slumming it with the rest of you all. The transition has been difficult. As obviously, in my social media experiences, I'm used to having like a butler and a personal assistant. I have a trainer for my hounds, grounds as far as the eye can see. No, it is wild watching the downfall of something that became such a, I don't want to say crutch. It was the strange interconnected tissue of the internet. And it's so strange to see it rise and fall. Because, like, we've seen social media platforms die in the past, right? Like, for those of us that were old enough, you know, we saw MSN come and go. We saw the rise and ultimate fall of MySpace. You know, digital hubs like Gaia Online and things have come and went. I guess stuff like Something Awful kind of settled into their weird nicheness, but ceased being like a nexus as people moved from forum-based interactions to social media. But you know what's so fucking weird is, like, everything currently happening was entirely preventable. Like, we're not seeing a new paradigm shift. It isn't that something has come along that's even better than what came prior. It's just a fuck-up. It's just a fuck-up. And it's weird to watch. It really is. Oh yes, 30. Yes, the internet is entirely like the Dark Souls kingdoms, built upon kingdoms. It's why it's so funny whenever you hear the tech sector throwing around Web 3. Like, forgetting how that these empires are built. How they rise and fall. And sorry, that is a hell of an undertaking. Good luck. No one's done a golden dab yet. Oh yes, I moved. It is a fuck up with too much money. They bought a website. What was it someone said? I've never met a more divorced person in all my life. I mean, Fred, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Thank you, random car. Your input on this topic is thoroughly appreciated! So Wolfgrad, I'd check in with that person because, like, now everyone's had theirs removed unless they are paying for it. Or the company they work for is paying for it. If you want, like Wolfgrad, I'll check them because I've had a little cheeky plugin for a while that shows me if someone is a Twitter Blue user or not. So I've known. I've known for a while. I can check them. I have the power. I am the tweet finder general. But no, it is a very, very strange thing because, especially with like the integration of social media into people's day-to-day lives, like, we've essentially become, I wouldn't say full-on dystopian cyberpunk, there's still a few things, but we have reached a point where your personal, social, and professional life exists both simultaneously on and offline, you know? We don't quite yet have, like, AR integration or anything like that, but, you know, hi, my name's Will. I'm only able to feed my family because I talk to you lot on this twitch.television. Like, I mean, that's wild alone. But then adding the fact that, like, one of the core pillars of that transition into a, like, half in, half out life has just biffed it because, yeah, the world's most divorced man made it all our problem. Oh yeah, and Averick, for GDC this year, everybody was just like doing it was Twitter and something, you know. Caffeine, I have no clue what you could mean, but that sounds fascinating. Perios with day 12. The party hats have taken over. They exist in my subconscious, and I do not know how to separate them from myself. I have become Cone, and found peace with it. I do not know how to be anything other than the party hat, for it lives through me. So Cavi was saying that a rocket did multiple flips when going for a stage separation and went boom by the old gods. Multiple engines were out, and the last one died in flight. God. I'm not sure how I feel about IRL Kerbal Space Program. Fencer, I have not played Minecraft Legends. I was far too busy finishing the Rivulet campaign yesterday. Which, yeah. No spoilers from me, dear friends, but, yeah. The Rivulet campaign was absolutely exceptional. And Spearmaster will definitely be entertaining next week. Oh, wow. Okay, so Perios was saying that Capcom just finished up their Street Fighter 6 presentation. Was generous. They shadow dropped the single-player portion on PlayStation right now. Interesting. Yeah, Night Valen, it's me, the one without the check mark. How are you doing? Sorry, I'll tell you this much. It does involve Lord Calcium Bonio. That's all I can tell you. Oh, so Immortal Len, where is aforementioned Supergiant sale? Because I've been talking about them a lot recently. And I don't want to be a jerk or anything, but you know, is Hades 2 out yet? Is it out, Darren? Have you sorted it? Over on Steam. Lovely, lovely. And for saying the new Riot Steam RPG is out. Okay. And that's different from the, what was it, Sunken... Is it Sunken Kingdom? No, that's something else. There are too many games, and I do not have a lot of brain. Mage Seeker. God, I thought that wasn't coming out till next year. Oh, wow, yeah. Well, okay, that dropped this week. From the same team that did Moonlighter. Fascinating. I think the and by the way, so Immortal Len posted to the Steam sale on Supergiant titles. It's $35 for the entire back cat. That is ridiculously good. I mean, the fact that Hades is still only $24, fresh and new, is wild to me. So yeah, if any of you are lacking of Supergiant titles, bam, we got you. Okie dokie Lokies. Oh. Yeah, sorry friends. like I said, it's not been too bombastic in video game news, and that's nice. Sorry, the ending to the Rivulets campaign in Rain World Downpour was lovely. If you get the chance, either go through it your good self, or I believe it'll be a day or so before Scotty can throw it up, but do give the VOD a watch, because God, it's just such a... it's wonderful. And yes, Squarepeg, once again, Sea of Thieves is very on sale on Steam right now. So if you've been wondering about picking it up and don't currently have Game Pass, I can go for it. So Greybeard, the race to the bottom with indies is a fascinating discussion. It's been going on for quite some time. Mainly because price point and expectation is a user thing, right? That can often be equated more to a studio's perceived value than their actual output. Sorry, that might be a bit too arty-farty, but basically, with a lot of indie studios, they started highly undervaluing their titles as a means of kind of gaining more coverage. Boosh. Friends, I think I just blinked out of existence again. What is happening with me? I tell you what, once we get the game started up, I'll either pour myself, like, the kind of coffee to wake the gods or otherwise. I do apologise. Because what I was saying, Greybeard, about, like, the value of indie titles is also having a knock-on effect as to, like, the perceived value of games as a whole. And Greybeard, that is a fascinating question of, so how does the tactic work for them as opposed to Capcom's Mega Man and similar AAA companies? So, in the AAA space, the value and pedigree of a game is based on, like, its success and how much you maintain its value. So, like, Zelda is a full-priced game because Nintendo repeatedly priced their games at full price, not at, like, the lower or the mid or lower tier. They very rarely do official sales, and so it creates this expectation with users that no, Zelda is always $60, right? With a team like Supergiant, they've come up from humble indie spaces, so users following their works will be judging them based on the previous title's cost, right? You can't go from releasing a $5 game to releasing a $60 game without people going, huh? Now, throughout Supergiant's history, it was probably the cheapest when it was available on Xbox Live Arcade. But throughout Steam, it's maintained a $15 price point, which is solid. It's below the 20 mark where people usually start to question. It's not quite in what we call, like, the impulse purchase zone, but it's closer to it. Transistor definitely took the pedigree of Bastion and its rampant success and hit for a $20 price point. And that's where they stayed with Transistor and Pyre. And then by the time they hit Hades, they moved it up to $25. Now, Hades, in terms of, like, value for money, is more than a $25 game, for certain. But because their expectation is coming from indie and ramping up, they can't just immediately go, Hades 2 is going to be $60. They might be able to pull it off, but it would cause a little bit of a reaction. Wheeler Dealer, Watto, and welcome. It's not Cole! It's not a cult. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a cult. Being mean to me. Talking about video game prices and user expectations. Because the thing is, like, no matter what people say, they absolutely do judge a title based on how much they pay at purchase. A great example of that would be the early access of Kerbal Space Program 2, which has received a lot of negative backlash. And the team's been like, yo, but we told you. We told you this was early access, like we used to do. But despite all that, users just see price point, title, experience. So, oh, it's not cult robe, it's my jacket. I forgot to put it away last night. You lot. Anyway, sales these days tend to affect more the perceived price per platform. Wheeler dealer, you terror. You've had to deal with this nonsense, you know. Alright, Greybeard, have a lovely rest of your day. Apparently Chainsawman's back. Fucking hell, it's gonna be a day. Hey, Wheeler Dealer, that's why we're here. I mean, you're in the anime business. And friends, like, if you think video games have had a wild pricing structure throughout the years, remember that anime started off as, I forget what the price point would be over here, but in the UK, 20 quid was what you paid for a VHS from Manga Entertainment. And that could either be a movie or 2 to maybe 4 at max episodes of a TV show. Alright? Just think about that. To complete the average anime series, which usually goes for 24 episodes, hang on, let me do the math on that one. You are looking at, like, what, 5 or 6 VHS. So you're looking at a minimum of 100 quid to finish a series. Now, you give Crunchyroll 8 or 9 bucks a month, and Crunchyroll's like, we got you, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, it's fine. And Angel Kalina, Watto and welcome. You know what? It's 420 today. It might just be the general blaze it nature of the planet. So, yo, when it comes to pricing nerdery, like, the anime and manga industry have gone through wilder shit than us. I mean, you're not wrong. Sorry, Wheeler Dealer was saying you can either pay $8 a month for Crunchyroll, which is a buttload of anime, or you can pay $8 for a checkmark on Twitter that does, let me check my notes here, fucking nothing, except for flag you as a piece of shit. Like, they've had to work out an additional system to hide the Twitter blue checkmark because it has already become synonymous with the worst aspects of the internet. Oh, sorry, I don't just remember AMVs. I was a card-carrying member of AMV.org pre-YouTube, when you had to find hosting to let people download your videos. Hookshot says their view numbers have dropped harshly on tweets. Yeah. I mean, again, algorithmically, it's currently holding people hostage, but if the uptake isn't enough, then, well, I mean, either it keels over or someone takes the reins away from... We'll see how it goes. Fred, that is the best way of putting it. Every blue check mark on Twitter is one less person who knows the true glory of the tales of Anya Folger. And I can't comment because I was one of the last people on the longship to watch Spy Family, and it is as good as everyone says it is. Also, the wild one is if you have a company account, it will also be flagged as a Twitter Blue account, so that's fun. A friend of mine is working on a particular title, because what you can do is you can buy a Twitter company account, and then you can have staff accounts flagged, and it has like the little icon of the product next to it, which in previous years would have been great. These days, I'm like, nah, I'm good. And Moose, that is thoroughly entertaining. Anyway, sorry. In terms of like video game pricing, it's very wild. Because like setting the price point in the correct way, or how you monetize your title, can be the difference between life and death. I was talking about this with Chilby last night, and we were discussing Unfortunate Specimen. Now, this is a very extreme example, but Unfortunate Specimen was originally a $20 price point title, but it was a game that required at least like 8 people to play it to be fun, and it was best played with 8 people you know. So when they made the switch to like free to play but funded by cosmetics, engagement went through the roof, because it's much easier to ask 7 people, like, hey, do you want to just download this thing and try it, than it is to say, hey, can you all blow $20 on this thing and try it? Like, I don't know about you, $20 is a lot of money in this household.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. 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 I got a new flavor coffee. I got an old flavor wrap. Equip the A1.
You know what? The one thing I do want to just highlight as a small little aside that continues to make me smile day in, day out is the fact that anime and manga are now just a part of culture as well. Like, it might have been Spy Family, I do not remember, but I was just in our local supermarket the other day, and like, we're talking like a major chain supermarket, or grocery store, or whatever you want to bloody call it, and there it was, just like an Animu t-shirt, not fucking hand-me-down Goodwill or some like strange weird collaboration, just a regular Animu branded pile of nonsense just there. And that makes my little heart so happy. Like, it's weird to remember what being an anime fan used to be. Like, just being able to acquire the stuff was a fucking challenge. Especially for people who were like first wave. I don't even know what it must have been like back then. Because, I mean, I was quite lucky in that, you know, in the UK we had Manga Entertainment, they did a great job, their dubs were fucking brilliant. If you had access to a major metropolitan area, you could probably go down the market and buy a bunch of dodgy DVDs. I think that's how I saw, I want to say Samurai Champloo originally. Definitely how I saw Cowboy Bebop. And yeah, you just buy a bunch of DVDs from a shifty guy. It was great. God. Evangelion and End of Evangelion I got in the US on sale in, I want to say, Best Buy, which was a fecking find and a half. These days, to acquire those same DVDs again is stupid money, and I don't like it.
You know, sometimes, actually a lot of times, never, people come up to me on the street and they say, hey, that guy raps. And I'm like,
Amos is being weird, sorry.
Yeah. And they ask,
what's up, baby boy?
Style something for me real quick, you know, just real quick. As a human being and as an artist, and I'm like,
but no, it's something that I try and like remind myself of, is that yes, it's very complicated trying to find anime and shows and whatnot, because
entire instrumental, I can do that. I have a
with the same accessibility that we've gained from streaming services, there's also a decentralization. It is feckin' hard to keep track of what's where in the anime space. But the access that we have at the quality it's just wild to think about. Sorry, yeah. End of my thought there. You want to play some weird fucking indie games? I want to play some weird fucking indie games. How about that? Right! So today, friends, I have something very special for you. It's the Forest Cathedral. It is weird and surreal and strange and slightly off-kilter, but in a fascinating, fascinating way. Yeah, end of thought, end of brain. I do not think, therefore I do not am. And Navalis, Watto, and welcome. Hookshot says having time to watch anime was a cool part of life. Yo, but there's a bunch of anime you can watch with your sproglets. Get some Shin-chan going. That shit's still fire. Fred says, no, I wanted to play some totally regular AAA first-person shooters, preferably with pre-order exclusive weapons. Oh, I do love them pre-order exclusives. Sorry, it's just... House Longship, we do not pre-order video games. We do not do that. It was highly hilarious to watch everybody that pre-ordered The Last of Us on PC get absolutely blindsided by a terrible port. Nothing but hilarity. Nothing but hilarity. Should I pre-order now.com? The premier website for finding out whether or not you should pre-order a video game is still live on the internet. Yup. Although weirdly the counter keeps breaking, so there's definitely been more than 700 people. Oh god. Dari says one of their favorite anime never got a Western Blu-ray release. Their only option would be one for like 250. Yeah. As a Gundam fan, like... Oh, sorry. There's a lot of Gundam available on streaming services, which is great. But some of the absolute bangers are still trapped in licensing hell. So one of the absolute pinnacle ones, Turn a Gundam, or Turn, and it's like the Greek alphabet letter A. But yeah, Turn a Gundam is so good, and is so hard to get hold of. When lockdown started, I was kind of putting together silly stuff for the wish list, and I did have the boxes on there, and I just watched the prices rise and rise and rise and rise, and I was like, oh no. I think Stardust Memory, Gundam F91 Stardust Memory, I don't think that's streaming anywhere. And there's a few others that just kind of got lost. Thankfully, War in the Pocket is available on streaming services. Yeah, I actually took Turn a Gundam off the wish list because the price was just getting stupid. I know, Phyllis, yeah. 008 Stardust Memory is different from Gundam F91, yes. But neither of those are available on streaming services to my knowledge. Unless you can, like... There's a few that are, like, purchasable via... Yeah, Turn a Gundam is just ridiculous. Shit's wild. And Phyllis, that is very kind of you. I am stoked for things to watch at the moment. Now, obviously, on this Twitch.television, we would never, ever, ever condone any form of piracy. We certainly would not say that people share logins for digital streaming services like, oh, I don't know, Disney Plus. And like, no one would lend somebody a login to Disney Plus because they helped do IRL build rat. Like, no one would ever do that. But in an unrelated note, I've started watching Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now I can watch Andor. There's completely unrelated information. God. You know what, friends? I can't put my finger on it. I can't put my finger on it, but it feels like there's like... You know, before a storm, you get that kind of that prickly feeling in the air. You know, the pressure's changing. You can feel it in your joints if you're a bit older. You know, there's that tension that you can feel. And I don't know why, but I'm getting that vibe right now. And I can't put my finger on it. Some part of my psyche is seeing, like, there's either something going on with games right now, or there's something going on in, like, the general internetosphere. But, like, I don't know. I got these big old warning bells going off in my head today, which is why I keep, like, flicking over and, like, looking at other stuff. I don't know any other way to explain it, and I know that's loopy and wild, you know, talking about the feckin' Force and whatnot. But oh, lovely. Caffeine, I'm glad you're enjoying War World. Once I'm done with Vampire Survivors, that'll be my next one. I'm just mopping up the OG game stuff before I start heading into the DLC and extra. I guess the other thing that got announced today was the most undeserved 10-year concert. So the Game Awards is doing a 10-year anniversary concert at the Hollywood Bowl, which is going to have a couple of good productions, I guess. So yeah, the LA Philharmonic Orchestra is working with the Game Awards Orchestra to do a bunch of live performances from varying video games. And honestly, like, it reads more like a marketeer's list of games that deserve a 10-year anniversary concert, aside from Final Fantasy. But again, it's Final Fantasy 16, the new one that hasn't come out yet. So I'm like, wait. I am going to end up having a wild love-hate relationship with the Game Awards, I think, for the rest of my natural life. I'm just gonna accept that that's where I live now. Morlen, okay, the games list for the concert, and feel free to boo. Feel free to boo. It is Arcane, which, that's not League of Legends, that's Arcane, alright. Diablo, okay, that makes sense. It doesn't specify any specific Diablo. Well, so yeah, so Fred, anything that constitutes to my unnatural life may allow me to break my my blood curse against the Game Awards. But yeah, so Diablo, Elden Ring, okay, you know what? From what I have been told, it's an incredible score. You know, FromSoft's got a great command of orchestral music. I mean, fuck. Anytime you hear that Latin choir kicking in, you know you're about to get the absolute hot poo beaten out of you. Okay. But then we're like, Final Fantasy 16. Why not just Final Fantasy? Why specify the one that hasn't come out? That's marketeering. God of War, alright, great. Hades, fuck yes. Baron Corb, shout out. And then Hogwarts Legacy. Boo. Boo. You're a bland, unearned pile of shite. Get out of here. But then, League of Legends. Excuse me. Yes, you at the back. Well, didn't you just say Arcane? Yes, I did. But isn't Arcane a TV show based on League of Legends? Yes, it is. Well, how come they're doing two then? Money. And then after that, Marvel's Spider-Man. Okay. Starfield. It's not out yet! It could be shy! But alright. Star Wars Jedi. Which one? There's a lot of them. You know? If Yoda comes out on stage like, sing your song, I will, then that's great. If, you know, what's his face with the giant eyebrows and the dome head shows up, that's probably going to be a weird country music singer. And I'm not down for that, but okay.
Like that.
And then The Last of Us. It bloody better be.
Like this.
Do you see what I did there?
Like that.
Oh no, so Fred, League of Legends in-game music is solid. And the fact that Riot started a music label based on their command, and they absolutely flexed during Arcane. Like, no, but the reason why I'm snarking at this is, like I said, this is a marketeer's list. It doesn't just, because it's not 10 years of great music from Supergiant and Riot and whomever. It's all specifically chosen, like, I would not be surprised to find out that some of these companies have paid to have their game's music included.
Like that.
And yes, Fred, when I say marketeer, I don't mean you specifically. Yeah, and Kathy, yeah, most of us haven't been out for 10 years. And so I guess the thing is, it's meant to be the 10-year anniversary of the Game Awards concert. But then, none of, like, now, you know as well as I do, the Game Awards is a vehicle for making money. That's it. That is it. And in the same breath, it has often been used as a way to support and to elevate a bunch of weird little indie games that might not have done as well as they did. So I can't hate it out and out. So, oh, on the subject of video game music, I just want to let you all know that Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is coming out the day before my birthday this year. We are living the Jet Set Radio life. August 19th. Okay, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk comes out on the 18th. We will be playing it on the 19th. Like, I'll be here playing it. You all are welcome to come join me on my birthday for that or not, but I just want to let you know. Sorry, because Too Mellow was kicking off, and I think Too Mellow's done some stuff. I mean, Fred, that's the hope. I am actually speaking to two separate individuals about two separate award setups for video games that try and address the bullshit, basically. It's incredibly complicated creating an award ceremony for games because it's an experience medium, and you can't just churn through them all. I'll be playing a video game. And Lizzie, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is the spiritual sequel to Jet Set Radio Future. Whether I choose, you know, skateboard, blades, a bike, or what have you, I'll be able to run away from my feelings. That's what Sonic does. Why does Sonic go fast? Because otherwise he'd have to experience his feelings deep inside. He can't do that. And Biggs, how are you doing? Gotta go fast. On the subject of AAA stuff though, has anyone spent any time with Sonic Frontiers? Because I didn't realise until the other day that I'm a rampant Sonic fan. Wait, Professor Nels, who am I in this? Am I the baddies? Because I'm pretty sure I'm not the baddies here. Oh, I'm Biggs. I'm sorry and having a bad day, friend. I've got a fucking weird indie game to show you. There will be too much of a head feck to even worry about it. It's gonna be great. Yeah, are we the baddies? Got skulls on our hats. Alright, I do need to go grab some water because I'm rampantly dehydrated. But let's get this game started. As you may or may not know, today is 420 Blaze It. And after our mischief here, we will be heading over to Fiona for a 420 Blaze It type adventure. Eagle lives. The fact that you think I haven't already completed Shadow the Hedgehog. The thing was... Oh, and Hookshot, no, I haven't seen the new squirrel art. So, and Hookshot, like, please feel free to plug your stuff. Like, the Sacred Acorn looks feckin' great. We got to play a whole bunch of it. It was cool. I'm looking forward to it coming out. Angel Kalina, my birthday is August 19th.
Okay, man, are you ready to
Yeah.
go? I'm ready to go.
See, we can do a shout out and everything. It's great. But okay, working at Sega, I met a lot of people who are proper Sonic fans. I mean, they went to Summer of Sonic, they got into all of the mischief. There's one guy on our shift at Sega QA who had like super hyper rare limited edition merch from Japan type Sonic fan. So I never really considered myself a fan, you know? It's that thing of like when you encounter people who are super fans, it becomes very difficult to put yourself in the same category, right? Ego lives. It might be. It was the dude who had got the imported Japanese Sonic bedsheets. Whose encyclopedic knowledge of the franchise was frankly just terrifying. Fish! Oh, this is going to be a good day. And yeah, so compared to that individual, I didn't see myself as a fan, right? But then I've talked to normal people, and they're like, wow, you sure can tell the difference between Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, the re-release, with additional mechanics. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I played the Sonic Collection on the Sega Saturn that contained a prototype of a Sonic 3D concept that was meant to be their, like, Mario 64 killer. They could not make work. So they kept it as a wrapper for, like, a retro collection. And it was one of the few collections that let you plug in Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3, which subsequent re-releases of Sonic didn't. I was like, shit. And I played Sonic 06. I played Sonic and the Black Knight. I returned the bungee-armed werehog, because that game was bad and it pissed me off. I played both Sonic arcade games, the Rollerball one and Sonic Fighters arcade. Sonic the Fighters, sorry, my apologies. You know? It's a weird thing to think of, that, like, that you could be... Well, maybe a fan is the wrong term, but incredibly knowledgeable on a subject without knowing it. And it is something that can happen, especially in, like, video games and nerdery. Asari, sleep well, have a lovely rest of your evening. And we'll go from there, yo. Lizzie says, you're not a fanboy like Floydo. You know, well, once you're entered into the Sonic canon, you know, it's a bit weird to be a fan of yourself. I kid. As a complete weird aside, it is super strange because, sorry. It is super strange because I spend a lot of time on TikTok, which I do enjoy, But every now and then, one of Floydo's quotes from the Sonic animation video will pop up. The one about Tails, because he's a little guy and he's sweepy. And it always throws me for a loop. It's like, Floydo? Wait! Okay, sorry. Bear with me just a second, friends. I'm just going to go get a can of water, and then let's get started. Because we've got a weird game to play. I don't know if I should tweet that we're playing this. I don't know if I'm making a rod for my own back. But at very least, friends, at very least, you get a little bit of beautiful, calming stream. Yeah, I've been looking forward to sharing this with you all, so apologies I'm a bit of a sketchlord today, but this is going to be a cracker. A banger of a game. Stop using that term. Right. Dear Liquid Death, please give me loads of money because I'm already drinking your products and I'm very poor. And J-Bros, thank you for the bits. It's a stream. Streaming by the stream. Alright. Just a quick heads up. Any of you with photosensitivity or photosensitivity related problems, this can get a bit fucking wild. So be aware if you need to tap out. I take no offense. Anyone who is offended by salmon or trout, welcome to the watery depths, Mother Hubbard. Buckle up. Angel Kalina, let's say hypothetically I got super glue on my fingertips. Good. Now you're ready to rob a bank. But yeah, without further ado, let's play the Forest Cathedral. Fred, 'cause it's fizzy. Makes it better. And it's got a skull on it, which makes it even better.
Read a book that flipped the way, sparked some curiosity.
Introducing the world's most sinister ladybug. Oh, cool! I'm a fucking ladybug! Let's go! Don't like that. Do 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 do. What the fuck? Oh, it's a fire extinguisher. I still don't think the dyslexic font is very good. That's just me. All right. Quality. High. 420 blaze it. All right. Oh no, mosquitoes. Oh. Is this making anyone else feel itchy? This is making me feel itchy. Aim at swarms. RB the spray. I have infinite ammo! Oh man, does that mean I killed the ladybug? The range on this thing sucks. Yeah, this is bad. I don't think I'm supposed to be spraying this around, friends. I should use fire. Okay, so Lizzie, did I spray the ladybug when I was playing as the ladybug when I got sprayed? You could say I failed to save the ladybug. But I'm gonna need a fucking shower after this game. The binaural audio on the mosquitoes is making me really want to scratch my skin a lot. Question, Shabby, does anything canonically eat Hobbit? I guess apart from orcs. Meat's back on the menu, boys. And by meat, I mean other living sentient things. They're the most delicious. Alright, where did I miss? Sorry, Edwin says, I can't believe this is Spec Ops The Line, but for insects and exterminators. So I got this one, I got that one. I think I did that one. Maybe I didn't do this one? This just makes me want to scratch my sin a lot. Okay, no, I definitely didn't do this one because I would have recognized the screen. This is all very odd.
First name?
Rachel.
Last name?
Carson.
Miss Carson, I'm sorry, but all our secretarial positions are filled.
Oh, no, sir. I'm applying for the field research biologist position.
Women don't.
What? A biopsy?
You said there's a lump. Rachel, we have to test.
Oh, yes.
The requirements for this position. You will be in isolation for 3 months, studying the wildlife on the island. Land, water, and sky. Science Island, if you will.
Silence Island?
No,
No,
don't worry.
Science Island.
Science Island is state of the art, with all the necessary provisions and equipment. It's as close as we can get to the real world, except with containment. You will be communicating with me via radio at your base.
Whereabouts are you from
Telling you
again?
about your research and discoveries. It will be Stefan right there with you. I just want you to know that you have hit the lottery. A dream come true for any scientist. And the best part of all,
I'm so fortunate for this opportunity.
no mosquitoes.
Pardon?
That's right.
No mosquitoes outside in the summer. How can that be?
You know what? We were talking about this yesterday on
I
Wanted
know
Dead.
how it sounds, but I synthesized a pesticide called dichlorodiphyltrichloroethane. DDT for short.
It's a DDT!
Colorless, odorless, and tasteless chemical compound that does wonders. Mosquitoes just drop dead.
My goodness, a thing like that.
And you are going to help change the...
Fred, it's either pro Nurgle or pro wrestling right now, and I don't know which direction. So wait, so Silent Spring.
It's the only one in the world. Think of it like a camera that only can see certain things. Try it out for yourself.
Hang on, let me pause that for a second. When we were playing Wanted Dead, a lot of you were asking like about the Lynchian style philosophy, like David Lynch style, David Lynch inspired art, and how it takes place in video game spaces. Now, usually, whenever we talk about Lynchian stuff in video games, we just have to talk about Deadly Premonition. Because Deadly Premonition is not just what if Twin Peaks, but video game. It embraces the off-kilter weirdness. Edwin, sadly, you did miss Wanted Dead. The VOD will be up soon as Scotty can scrub it and make sure it's not going to cause problems. Actually, I haven't checked. It should be up on YouTube at some point. But this is absolutely going for that. Like, this is specifically weird and strange and disjointed. And I'm already... I don't know if this is necessarily going to be a game that everyone's going to enjoy, but like right now, it's going with such a... It's so surreal. It cannot be unintentional.
Look around you. Notice how you can only see certain objects with the scanner and not others.
And that's because...
As you are to a point of interest, the IRGB will start to beep, detecting animal, fish, insect. Once close enough, you can then capture...
Thank you, Caffeine!
Proceed with your train. Enter the course near the far end of the warehouse.
Yeah, so Caffeine, like, we're in a science position, right? Why are we in like a target training facility with this thing? Why did the guy think that we were coming in for a secretarial position, try to dissuade us, and then try and persuade us? Like, but the vocal performances are all spot on. And very intentional. Like, and like, look at this thing. It's just a sheet of something. Bingo, bango. Like, this isn't a grand fanciful contraption. see, like Lizzie, I assumed like the sexist angle immediately, but then it struck me like I don't know the bizarrity of how he swapped from being like no.
What is this place? Some kind of training facility for the army?
But no, sorry. The thing that I found very jarring there is how he went from that kind of like 1950s, 1960s sexism, and then immediately changed his tone because he was like, "Oh, women don't usually take this job," and then begins to talk her into why it's so good and brilliant. I don't know. There's a jarringness to this already.
Best friend.
Hey!
To introduce you to the little man.
Hello.
This tiny bugger inside the terminal will help you access and control various scientific equipment around the island. See if you can exit the training course. This is him.
Yep. This is the little man. Sup, little man? This is how we'll be doing the largest proportion of our interactions throughout the game.
Hello again. It's a pleasure to meet you, little man. My name's Rachel, and it looks like we'll be working together this summer.
And the fact that she's just treating this like...
Bear with me. I'm still getting used to all this advanced technology. Who knew computers were run by tiny people inside?
Okay, hands up if you already knew that computers were run by tiny people inside, because we've known that for a while, but... Well, after Rain World... and Mortal End named their tiny person Carl. Yeah, after all the Rain World we've been playing... There we go. Fuck! This is going to take some getting used to. Vic! And there we go. And there we go. That's how we're going to be... You've rumbled me there, Len. All along, I was the journo who played Cuphead. Oh god, we just had a fucking massive internet spike. What is going on today? Sorry about that, friends. Okay, yeah. So again, this is one of these titles where I want you to... I don't know. I want you to regard this with the strangeness that it's presented to us. This is one of those ones where, like, we can't immediately define or guess with this one. But the surreal nature of what we're doing, combined with the normality of how it's presented to us, I think is thoroughly bizarre.
Good morning, little man. Guess what? I have a joke. Okay, so what did the snowman say to the other snowman?
I don't know.
Do you smell carrots? Get it? Because they're... I guess you can't smell.
That was actually pretty funny. I won't lie.
That's enough goofing around. Let's check the water levels.
And yes, if we stop pushing the little box,
Everything looks good to me.
the platform stops moving.
Dorothy would love to see the zooplankton this close up.
Ah, Dorothy. Good on them. I wonder how they're doing.
That's...
Splendid! Oh, ha, just splendid. And the water levels.
perfectly normal. And you were right. There were no mosquitoes.
Isn't it amazing? Especially in the marshy swamps.
Yes, of course, but isn't it really strange?
Yeah.
A pesticide that only works on mosquitoes specifically?
Can you send some of that stuff over my way? I'm getting eaten up over here.
I am on an island, you know?
So, DDT in a bottle?
Week 2. So, like, here, the call is being presented to us with, like, these pixel art, Stardew Valley type characters, and there's no even pretense of a cut. We're talking between our boss and our friend. Also, every time they say DDT, I'll give you the crib version, but one of my favorite moments for drinking with friendos at the Creative Assembly was the B-52 bomber himself going in and just house party by the sofa. And it was just that level of drunk, that right level of house party drunk in the evening. And as he's going in for a hug, he's like, "Don't worry, it's a hug. It's a hug. It's a hug." And then as soon as the hug closes, he just went, "It's a DDT." And then proceeded to break a couch. It was a great night. It was a great night. Okay, so this is where the demo started. Fish! Though the capture mechanics weren't there.
I am forever grateful that you're in my life.
Rachel, I look forward to talking to you every day. A true highlight I needed more of.
You and me both.
I can't wait for you to return home.
My dearest Dorothy.
You fucking wet. Like, you all heard that, right? The change in tone and delivery between the lines there.
All aboard the breakfast train. Choo-choo! I, Rachel Carson, will be your conductor, delivering the finest worms available. Of course, this isn't a real train, but these are real worms, so enjoy.
So how long has it even been?
I don't know, a month, maybe 2.
Wow, that long?
Yeah.
I guess time flies when you're a scientist. So hey, when you get back, you're going to show me the microzoa and phytoplankton.
Mm-hmm.
Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just
What the
tired is
fuck?
all. Wow, look at all this food. Fresh trout from the stream. Delicious. You haven't touched your food yet. It's going to get cold. And that's what I mean in terms of resistance.
What?
If an area is sprayed with DDT,
Only mosquitoes would die.
supposedly, but through an odd genetic mutation, some could survive. And whatever allowed them to survive would be passed on to their offspring.
Creating a DDT-resistant mosquito.
Exactly.
My goodness. You're gonna have to send me a report. That's astounding. And terrifying.
Edwin's like, this is a perfectly normal video game. All water wants to become land. Press Y to open notebook. Monday to do. Check water levels. The little man should be able to help me. Yeah, this sure is one perfect game. And Fred, this isn't a Captain Planet villain backstory. This is like Swamp Thing's new origin story, you know? Alright, so that coloured gate's not powered on. Fred, that's severely what I'm hoping. Get us like a great big mosquito-themed pro wrestler. He's gone for the DDT. Oh my god, it doesn't work on him! It's a full reversal! Shorby showed me a indie wrestling game yesterday that we may have to binge at some point. Don't have anything to say on it just right now, but very ready for some full-on silliness. Alright, what's up, little man? The weird thing is, it feels like, it almost feels more like we are the little man, rather than... Does that make a weird sense? Mortal End, it is not the Wrestling RPG Maker game.
Hey there, little guys. What's that swirling around in there with you? Water's looking extra murky today.
Also, you'll notice it has all these little coloured doohickeys. There's no platform.
Maybe I should give the swamps one more scan.
Alright, let's pull out the scanner.
Oh, heavens, is there something wrong with the IRGB? Nothing's ever glowed like that before.
Hi, hello.
Dr. Muller, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
That's wonderful. So, quick note, I was finishing my tasks around the swamps, and I think there's something wrong with the IRGB.
Something wrong? How so?
Well, as I said, I was near the swamps, and I used the IRGB, and a plethora of glowing dots appeared. They were everywhere. Do you have any idea what that's all about? I didn't even know organisms could glow. Is that safe?
It's totally fine.
It's just the IRGB being funny. It is the only one in the world, so custom devices come with custom problems.
The
But
only
they were
one in the world.
glowing.
The mosquitoes?
Has to be, right? Glowing dots flying around all over the swamps. I can't believe I didn't put this together sooner.
And what did Dr. Muller have to say about this?
He wasn't particularly worried about the matter.
In search of small
Good
gods.
morning, everyone. I hope you slept well. Chairs, table, you are looking awfully well rested. I should radio Dr. Muller in the garage.
Okay, so this is where the press demo started. And the thing that struck me about this game isn't that it's like trying to emulate Firewatch, as a lot of these kind of walking sim titles are. Nor is it trying to just be weird and surreal. It's ever so slightly off kilter. Like, here's the thing. I talk to the dogs all the time. I talk to the guinea pigs. I potter around the house and talk to myself. That's not weird inherently, and like, especially if you're working a research station by yourself, you'd come up with coping mechanisms. Or you go insane. Like, it's one or t'other. So yeah, drawing a little face on the wall, on the beam, so that when you're having dinner and stuff, you can pretend to talk to somebody. That's not too surreal. But then combine it with some of the other things. I mean, this game is called the Forest Cathedral, and there it says Cathedral, 7 p.m. Like, that was the point where I realized this was a game that I needed to share with you all, because if there's one thing that I felt... You know, I love Alan Wake, right? And Control is an incredible game. But I used to critique Alan Wake a lot more, because essentially it copied all of the beats of Twin Peaks. The locale, the aesthetic, the characters. But it didn't copy any of the surrealness of it all. You know, yes, it ends up being very, very weird. Oh, actually, what's on our to-do list today? I should radio Dr. Muller. No, we're just going to have a look around. You're not the boss of me now, and you're not so big. We'll go to the beach. Like, even though what affects Alan Wake doesn't make a whole bunch of sense, the process does. Shadow monsters, scared by light, so on and so forth. Like, it makes a weird sense. Oh no! An Angel Kalina, I'm so sorry, friend. There are quite a few people with technical knowledge, long shipping wise, that might be able to help you. But I hope it gets sorted. But yeah, sorry. The thing that I haven't encountered many games that have been able to do is emulate the surrealness. Now, that is because, if you haven't seen Twin Peaks, it's a very slow burn. You know, initially you're brought into the show with a mystery. Like, who killed Laura Palmer? And by the end of it, it's a fucking wild ride that has unfurled bizarrity and strangeness aplenty. Not everything is explained. So much is left to your interpretation or understanding. It does not come with complete answers. And there's nothing hyper supernatural about it, right? But you're always left kind of going, wait, fucking wait. That vibe, I think this embodies perfectly. There is something extremely strange going on. And we're being taken through this on this, you know, mosquito pesticide adventure, but how it's being presented to us, that there's no differentiation between discussing things with our boss and our friend the lilting, changing mannerisms with these characters. Our friend goes from being sometimes the one sane voice to this dead, flat. You can almost hear the person staring dead at the camera.
Dr. Muller, hello? Are you there?
Rachel, hello. Of course. How are you doing on this fine Friday?
It's Friday already? My goodness.
Yes, well, you know what that means. It's Fish Friday.
Why, yes, of course. I am looking forward to checking up on those boys.
You heard it. It's Fish Friday, where we select 2 trout, and they will fight to the death for our amusement. Alright. Fish Friday. So it's Mr. Valve, garage, the cabin. The question mark. Let's say hi to Mr. Valve near the stream. You're right, Meow Kitty Sakura. We should definitely... That's my sinister.
Oh, no, it's still happening? Dr. Muller doesn't believe me, but the mosquitoes are glowing.
With this haddock. And Mortlin, she is losing track of time more and more, but then also, like... Well, okay, so Kathleen, I wouldn't say that the VO is necessarily poorly directed. I think that's a bit unfair, because, like, as we've heard with the other character, they flitted between genuine delivery and flat strangeness. There's an off-center. Alright.
Hello, Mr. Valve. I just need to turn you so I can get some samples of the fish. I know, it's Fish Friday already. Can you believe it? Me either. Mr. Valve, you're not working properly. There must be another way to give you power.
Also, like, the surrealness of the fact... Why would have... yeah. Okay, so you don't have power yet. There we go. Ah, here we go.
Ah, little man, it's great to see you.
Let's go, little man! These ladders are super weird.
Little man, are you okay? The bugs can be dangerous.
Oh yeah, sorry. Again, this was part of the. This was part of the tech demo, so.
How'd the mosquitoes get in there?
I know the tech demo, sorry. This was part of the press demo,
Something
so.
is going very wrong.
Have to forgive me for blitzing through this very quickly. Anyway, power time! Looks like the power's back on.
Ah, wonderful. Great job, little man. Looks like the power is back on.
Mr. Valve controls all the power and helps us sell a gajillion video games. Also 420 blaze it.
Back again, Mr. Valve. I should be able to gather samples of the fish once the net is raised.
This whole thing is extremely weird. That's a lot of dead fish!
What in the world? What is going on? This can't be. Are they dead? They're dead. Something has gone terribly wrong. I have got to tell Dr. Muller.
Yeah, Mr. Fish is not looking so hot.
Dr. Muller? Hello? Are you there? Something has gone terribly wrong, and, well, all the fish are showing up dead. You know, when they should be very much alive. I guess I have to head farther upstream to find live
using
samples.
the scanner helps me to navigate when I don't know exactly where to go.
However, I noticed the terminals are being connected by the glowing pipes, which really cannot be good. Not even the mosquitoes were supposed to glow.
Okay, so there's a terminal up ahead where I can catch a live fish.
Okay. I believe this was the
Here
only...
it is. Look at this contraption. The terminal is connected to the fish tank, which is great because it would be too hard for me to catch a fish with my own hands.
So this is the other part of the demo I believe I played. There wasn't too much to it, but I did get wonderfully lost when I was playing the demo earlier. That sounded horrifying.
Wonderful. There's our fish. Now I have to figure out how to get you up here.
Well, I mean, Caffeine, let's give this more than a few minutes to understand what they're doing with this. Because if that person is such a specific individual, especially in like marine biology, they wouldn't include that character. They wouldn't include that character for no reason, right? So then the question becomes, why? Oh, get my ass here. P-balls. So to the real hunter, this is the Forest Cathedral, and this is Little Man. This is, I mean, Real Hunter, as you well understand, like, you know, computers are run by tiny little people inside machines. Like, this is a well-known science fact. Ah, piss. No! Don't do the ledge grab! You adorable bastard! Real Hunter with... Yes, I am familiar with the plot of Digimon. Understandable. Ah! do this before? Obviously not like that. Fuck! Okay, and breathe, and breathe. Oh, come on! Little man decided he was going to do fucking pull-ups there. Where was the okay. Yeah, Edwin, I think that's a good one. Like, this isn't historical fiction because I do not believe that wildlife conservation is done with Virtua Boy style Celeste visuals. And the surrealness of it. There we go, that's what I was after. It's just little man will do like a little pull-up if you try and jump right next to a... There we go. If you try and jump immediately next to a
so
lip...
it looks like the gates are rising up after I connect the transistors. And would you look at that, little man? We have just one more to go. So I just got to do precision on this one. There we go. Yes. That'll do. Grumble, 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 grumble. What are you doing, little man? Going the wrong bloody way. As we begin our new life under the sea. Alright, I'm just gonna adjust the... Okay, so we can't... Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So turn off spikes. Remove the deadly spikes in the 2D platforming sections. Or do that if it gets too frustrating. Disable static, the flashing static on terminals. Really, what I want is... This is so surreal. Yeah, it does. It is very nightmarish under the water. Oh yeah, Earthman Dave, you're right. I just need to look for the weirdness settings. That one up, didn't I? It's getting stranger over here!
Oh, now you don't want to do ledge grabs. Alright. Air Dragon says the cat... This is making the cat go crazy. Ears are rotating like satellite dishes trying to receive some kind of signal. Well, I'll say this, Edward, like, I'm very much in the philosophy of, like, I'm gonna scoff an edible later. I definitely wasn't gonna get high playing this. This was one of those, like, I had no doubt this was gonna be weird. And I guess I'm blazing through this a little bit faster, lol, because I really did not... Oh, this bit sucked, but...
We, but mostly you, did it, little man. The fish is almost up here.
There we go. Ah, here comes fish in a glass, fish in a glass. It's a fish in a glass.
Mr. Fish, let's scan you to see your vitals. Something is fishy with your friends downstream.
They're dead.
Oh, I'm sorry, little lady. I hope you're doing well today. You are 6 pounds and 15 inches. You seem healthy, little lady. Let's see what you've been eating, and I'm hoping it's not the... glowing mosquitoes. Oh, heavens, 4 of them? I mean, that is what you eat, but...
What's the point if the...
The mosquito's contaminant level is 1 bar. Not great, not terrible. Okay.
If they killed all the mosquitoes
so
on Science Island, wouldn't the fish be without food
12
source?
bars? My goodness, that's 3 times higher than the mosquitoes. Is it multiplying?
Yeah, look at the feckin' face on the back of the scanner and these, like, Fisher-Price tier tools. The crate for the fish is now covered in blocks, I guess. I hope you're okay. Fish!
Well, little lady, you look normal, but your vitals aren't normal. I swear it has something to do with those glowing mosquitoes. Hey!
Chase after the eagle that stole the fish. Alright.
Come back! I need that! No, really, I know you need it too, but Mr. Eagle, you don't want to eat that. I'll explain why. I need the little lady first. Mr. or Mrs. Eagle!
What is happening?
Eagle must be on the other side of this gate. Maybe the little man can
Oh, feck off, bird! I'm trying to do stuff! Because we're not increasing in height with each bounce. There's nothing to be doing from there. What are you up to, Mr. the Bird? But yeah, I do think that the cognitive... the audio dissonance there was very intentional. But I just don't know to what end. Ah. Nope. Averick, you were entirely spot on. We could dash upwards. And the regular birds are pecking away at it, making this very confusing. Anyway. The block fell. It did its job. Having to kind of basically feel our way through large portions of this.
Thank you so much, little man. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Okay! What? I would say that for those of you that have not experienced psychedelics, that this is a good shorthand. But honestly, we're in.
Oh heavens, the fog! Where might this eagle be? Maybe the scanner will give me a better idea.
The ridiculousness of it. But in a way, like, Hunter, it kind of feels like someone telling the story to a child. And then Mr. Eagle flew down, and Mr. Eagle grabbed the trout, and the trout went, "Oh no, please don't eat me!" You know what I mean? This leads us to a dead end. I can't see a ruddy thing.
Oh, thank Pete. The eagle is probably up in its nest. I just have to start the climb.
All of these trees have... What the fuck is that?
Access denied. Not now. I need to start the climb to get egg samples from the eagle.
What? I'm so glad I'm not playing this high. You all saw the shadow of a person shambling across, right? See if we can find some access, but still. Yeah, just perfectly normal video gaming hours. Nothing to see here. Is it me? Am I losing my marbles? No, it is the children. The children are losing. Alright, so that's one of the spots. Can't get down this way. We go round. I mean, that's this whole ass game in a nutshell. Is the fuck?
Maybe I can get a hold of Dr. Muller in there.
What is this little place? Because it's supposed to be an island with no people on. Like, it's meant to be like, yeah, science-y research island.
These terminals aren't working either. Oh, rats. Just another problem I have to tell.
Rachel?
Dr. Muller.
How has your research been coming along?
That's the thing. I tried getting a hold of you because the fish are not well.
How do you mean?
Well, when I tried to gather fish samples earlier near Mr. Valve, all the fish that floated downstream were dead.
Dead?
Dead, a whole mess of them. What's even stranger is that they, disappeared when I looked away, but are showing up on the scanner.
Rachel, how can that be? You're not making any sense.
Doctor, where are you from again?
I know what I saw. When I scanned a trout for its vitals from upstream, its contamination level was 3 times higher than the mosquitoes. This must be based on the fact that the mosquitoes' contamination level was just 1, but the trout ate 4 of them. Dr. Muller, I believe your pesticide DDT has something to do with this.
My award-winning miracle pesticide, DDT, has nearly eradicated malaria. And you want to blame it on the death of a few fish?
I'm not doubting its ability to slow or stop the spread of malaria. But sir, I'm wary of the rapid use and commercialization of DDT. We don't know the long-term effects of it.
Here's your proof.
Sir.
You are a scientist, huh? There's your proof. You just come here and expect me to believe you? Halting operations on a pesticide that will change the world. Do you want children to die?
No, of course not, sir. I had a rainbow trout as a perfect example, but then an eagle swooped down and stole it. I'm sure it's nested in the climbing trees, but I need to regain access to them.
Oh, you can't be serious. You're telling me an eagle took your sick fish, huh? Of course it did. And that the mosquitoes disappeared? Yes, because DDT is eradicating them as planned. Oh, that's rich. Oh, Miss Carson, you have a future in comedy at this rate.
The fact this guy flits from being...
Maybe he's right. It's probably nothing. I haven't been feeling like myself lately. I guess I am sick. Which is why I could be seeing things. That's it. But too many of those fish were dead. And it makes sense for the DDT to concentrate and magnify up the food chain.
Yeah, Edwin, he's going for such an over-the-top villain.
I'm right. I am right.
God, and just the contextualness of it all. So here, I'm not actually controlling movements. I'm pushing interact, which I guess I'm reassuring the character, or if we are her, we're reassuring ourselves.
I just need more proof.
With like the wild and weird
If Dr. Muller doesn't take this seriously, the environment, wildlife, and even humans could be in danger.
Yeah, and Edwin, that's what's so strange. Now, Edwin, you were there earlier when we were talking to the friend, and they flitted between being a bit surreal and very like flat, dead-eyed delivery, and then actually like genuine concern.
Let's get this eagle.
Okay. Is that a boss battle? Why is there a person there? What is happening? I mean, Hunter, that's also possible.
There are the eggs. I just need... Are they broken? They don't look hatched, but crushed, rather. And there are spots all over them.
I mean, this is just burger time right here. Edwin's, I don't know, the real Rachel Carson could also control gravity. Read it on Wikipedia. Ah! Alright, we don't have to do the full egg combo again. Because that would be an extraordinary feat of platforming. Oh boy! Alright, we're getting twisty! Oh fuck!
I'm not trying to hurt you, I swear. I just need to prove you're sick. I can see it myself. I just need the rest of the world to see it.
Like, we're definitely dealing with an unreliable narrator of sorts. But I just don't know to what degree, you know what I mean? We get the timing right on this one. His bites! His bites are killing me. Oh, come on! Okay, it's weird. It's making me grab the keys again here for this combo. Spin to win, I guess. Interesting. With that particular one, the dash moved a whole chunk of it? Oh god. Oh, darn it! I mean, Hunter, the only way we can find out is to press on forward, but there's definitely something unrelatable. There's definitely something unreliable going on here in terms of this tale, you know? Yeah, Mortland, who leads Lives punishment when you have the extended hallway of shame? Okay. Oh, fuck you! Oh, that... I'm turning off the spikes. Life is too short. Life is too short for that fuckery. Sorry.
Okay, little man. Just one more to go.
Okay.
Great going, little man. Now we can finally...
Oh! Fuck! What the fuck? Six inches of topsoil and the fact that it rains. I don't... We have nothing in our notebook. The pads aren't showing anything. Everything's blurry and off kilter.
Is this really it for me? Is this really the end?
God, this is weird. The blurriness of it all, the... God, it made me feel like I didn't put my glasses on. I don't wear glasses. Okay. Oh, alright. Got my vision back, friends. Guess we're on the right track. Nope.
Got an idea.
This makes perfect sense.
Just you and me, little man.
So, but that's us there. And we're apparently glowing as well. God, this is weird. Oh! Okay, the mosquitoes are all gone after being flashed. Excuse me, fish. turning around again. Oh, look! There's another person there. We just can't see them. Oh, great. I think they were a skeleton. So, to recap, we're in some kind of, like, surrealist, strange bizarrity of science. And the backdrop is the discovery of DDT's effects. Oh, I'm fucking alive. And that whole scandal. But it's told in such a weird way. Oh, the skeleton's getting closer! Don't like that.
So that was the third sector. What's left?
That would be the skeleton. Skeleton man, skeleton man. Some kind of still. And yeah, real boss, the monitor does look like semi-hospital equipment.
Little man, are you sure? I'm scared.
Did the rotatey potato and we didn't see... Oh, yeah, the last bit. There's us. Long corridor of shame. Skeleton. Oh, we're glowing more. Skeleton! We're glowing even more. This is bad. Skeleton!
My theory is, when DDT was sprayed to control the mosquitoes, it got into the air, soil, and water. Starting in the water, first-level consumers such as zoa and phytoplankton would have very tiny levels of, let's say, 0.04 parts per million of the producer DDT. Next, second-level consumers like mosquitoes or small fish will then feed on those primary consumers, which will increase the concentration of DDT in the tissue through biomagnification.
Okay, this we know.
Third-level consumers, like our rainbow trout, will feed on the second-level consumers, multiplying the concentration of DDT yet again to a lethal degree. The eagles are producing thin eggshells due to the lack of calcium, which means they are getting crushed when they are incubated. Dr. Muller, the way DDT is progressing, humans could be in danger.
Who cares? Even if that was true, who cares? I have already won, and so have you.
But...
Just look.
Remember the name, Wakefield DDT. It spells certain death to all insects, and others too.
It's already a
There must
commercial
be a catch
product
to
now?
it. Maybe DDT hurts humans too.
No, ma'am. It harms only pests. If used correctly, it is absolutely harmless to humans and animals.
No, that's not
but to
true.
insects, it is deadly.
No.
Dorothy. I've got to get a hold of Dorothy.
What the fuck?
What happened? Did he cut my communications? He's trying to silence me. Okay, Rachel, do not panic. Think. If all the radio signals are down here at camp, the only thing I can think of is reaching a higher altitude as an access point.
Okay. What? I'm getting real flashbacks from Nuts. How many of you were in for that journey? Because that one was fucking wild. God, the backdrop of this is just so strange. That seems fine. Like, the fact that the equipment is all strange and flits between, like, yeah, hospital equipment and things that look like they came out of, like, a Fisher-Price collection. Fearless, I'm absolutely getting Silent Hill vibes here. I think it's the disconnected weirdness of it. Like, it's not a dramatization, and it's not a retelling, because the timelines are weird and wonky, right? Because in theory, in the two...
Rachel?
Oh.
Rachel, hello? Please call me back.
Working on it.
Dorothy, can you hear me?
Rachel, what's going on? You were cutting out earlier. Are you okay?
Dorothy, I need you to listen to me very carefully. I have a really big favor to ask you.
Whatever could it be, Rachel? You're worrying me.
You have all my reports on DDT biomagnification and bioaccumulation. I'm going to need you to publish them.
Now, Rachel, why would I do that?
Well, it seems as if I'm not going to be making it back home. Dr. Muller disregarded all my data on DDT and has gone ahead and commercialized it. On top of that, I'm stranded here. My time is all but up.
What? Where are you? I can find a boat. I can come get you right now.
I don't want to spend my last dying breath in a hospital room. I need you with me. I need you to be very strong, okay?
Okay.
But no! You can't go!
Please submit my reports. This information has to get out. The public must know the dangers of DDT. I love you, my dearest Dorothy.
Rachel, I love you too.
Okay. Well, I had no fucking clue this was where this journey was going. Well, for this 420, who feels like doing a large amount of substances after that? Because I certainly do. Fucking hell. Well, I didn't think it was going to be wholesome, Lizzie. It's just... I mean, the whole thing is one... Yeah. What a fucking strange experience. Yeah, so Real Hunter, I think that's the spot on one there, is that the feelings that we're taking away from this are, or we should say, were very intentional. Alright, I'm going to bring this back to studio mode because this... the stream, while very, very pretty, desperately makes me want to pee. Let's find some smooth jams after that one. No, it does seem like everything from its weird disjointedness to the disconnect of it all was very intentional. And our character basically being talked down to, and by, you know, the evil cackling, someone said hair doctor, and I was like, oh shit, that was exactly what they were going for. What a fucking weird game. Oh, Angel Cleaner, no, you're entirely fine, you're entirely fine. What a feckin' strange day. The Edward is definitely the end to something there. So, Numbers, we just played the Forest Cathedral. Now, I played a little snippet of it at PAX last year. And I was like, it was very strange. The interacting with the world via the little pixel character, twinned with this strange, like, one step removed, was very odd. But you know what? Like, it stuck with me. I was still thinking about it. And then... strange game. Sorry. That's one, honestly, I'd want to hear what the team was intending for that one. Because of all the surrealness of it, like, it's never acknowledged. And I'm not even sure who we are in that space. Oh yeah, sorry. Hunter, I think you put it best, that if any part of the game got you mad about it, it did its job as it set out. And Immortal N, in one respect, you know, a person frequently overlooked by, you know, history and discussion, using a game to tell that story and highlight that person's involvement and the changes they made for good is wonderful. But yeah, I'm gonna need to ponder on this one for a while, because it was so overtly heavy-handed in how it was saying certain things, and then how subtle or intentional or unintentional we were supposed to take certain other things. You know what I mean? Hey, I promised you weird and indie. And like I said, nobody else we know has played that game. We are the only team. A Mega Boss, that did seem like a bit of the implication. And it definitely seemed to be playing with both, like, time and perception. But a very, very curious game. Yeah, no, friends, like, I'm gonna need to sit and ponder this one. But at the very least, it was a game that had something to say, and I very much appreciate that. I'm sorry, I'm going over, so the reason I was bringing up tabs and stuff is I'm looking at the assets and things like that. So Edwin was adding it was very video gaming, very, and a simplification of real life historical events. But honestly, it doesn't make it all the different from a lot of historical recreations that take liberties. I mean, there's a part of me that feels like that whole like gamification simplification is almost a commentary unto itself. You know what I mean? You know, the fact that the character the character was flitting between very, very, like, correct, complex terminology and this, like, happy children's book of, hello, Mr. Valve, hello, Mr. Fish. Like, it didn't feel like, yo, pick a lane. What it felt like was, I don't know, like a strangely shifting perspective on the whole thing. Clank, I did feel a little bit like I was on drugs. So look, friends, tell you what, this game has left me discombobulated, and I know only doing a 3-hour stream is very short, but I tell you what, Fiona is high as balls in the other room, well, or probably in the process of doing so and playing I Am Fish, I believe. Let's head over there. We can keep chatting about this on Discord and stuff like that, but I think usually I can get a good grasp of what a title is trying to say at a piece. And with this, I have no clue. Yeah, fish! So we can go from fish to fish! Yeah, like... Sorry, yeah, I'm going to be mulling over this one for a while, and I don't want you to all be just staring at me while I go, huh? Ooh? Oh. Like, why was it called the Forest Cathedral? What was the deal with the rando Calrissians? Why was all the scientific equipment so babyified, but the tutorialization was in some kind of military place? And again, the opening where the doctor's tone changed so drastically. As initially, it's the, oh, you're a woman, which means you must be a secretary, which means whatever, feck off. And then him flitting between, I don't think you want that, not a lot of people want that, to them being like, it's the best, it's the greatest, it's wonderful, you want it. It was almost like 3 different stories, right? It felt like being told the same course of events from multiple different perspectives. God. Look, I'm not saying that was a great game, but I am saying that I'm going to be mulling it over for a while. You know, there's always a problem with games like this where, especially with someone like myself, I might infer a little more intent than was constructed. Yeah, Edwin, thank you. It was, I mean, obviously it wasn't a genuine retelling. Or as you were saying, like, was it a commentary about how such recreations are always going to fall short of the actual events? But then, is the commentary on us for not knowing? Yeah, Edwin, we absolutely need to be fucking... We should have gotten high for this. I should have told everybody, edibles all round, and let's fucking go. Whoa, it's like the fish is us. Anyway, this will give the VOD watchers something to be like, wait! I mean, like, it opens with the flitting between... It opens with the flitting between our character... with the character... Again, the dramatization of the character trying to get a job where they're, like, isolated for months on end and flitting between them, like, in a hospital bed, obviously having a bad time. Like, they were talking about a biopsy and stuff like that. And then as we flip between these different states... It feels almost as if 2 or 3 people were retelling the same event, all talking over each other, and then someone took that, bolted that into a script, and made a game out of it. And definitely don't eat DDT. Yo. Yeah, Immortal then, I was having a look at the key art for this, and it's so strange. I mean, I can bring it up for you all if you all want to see it. I think I've got a big version here. Try not to mix it up with the Indie Games Festival version. It's super strange. Well, it's a two-headed skeleton being crucified by eagles whilst our character is kind of standing in front of him holding a fish. It's weird. God. Alright, friends. I admit defeat. I cannot give you a consensus on what we just fucking played. If I wanted to be nitpicky, the bleep bloop platformers were finicky in the wrong way. Caffeine, I haven't switched over because there's like a bunch of different versions and I want to make sure I'm just repping the right one, you know? Because there's one which is the same, but it's slightly more surreal and weird and like... Okay. This is the hunt for intent, right? We want to know right now, was this a semi-disrespectful retelling of the life and times of a real person who had a real demonstrable effect? Is this meant to evoke the questions that we're asking now? Are we trying to look too much into something that might have been tonally challenged? Or is the tonal whiplash, I shouldn't say tonal whiplash, is the tonal disjointedness of it meant to evoke the very thing that we're talking about now? Why were all the conversations held with these like pixel art Stardew Valley type characters when nothing else in the title represents that? This bizarre obsession with a specific kind of CRT, but then all of the scientific equipment being held together with brightly painted wood or plastic. Caffeine, that's a very good point. And, like, no judgment. Before today, like, how many of you all knew who Rachel Carson was before we played this game? I didn't. Like, I don't think DDT was a thing that was rolled out in the UK. We've had our own nonsense. So, like, if the game's goal was for us to know about this person and to find out about them, that is the mission accomplished, right? But why do I feel so much like I'm not sure if I just got complimented or insulted? I don't know if that game was just flipping me the bird, or if it was created to craft the very conversation we're having. And I don't mean like with Wanted Dead. Wanted Dead, I still don't know if it's genius or terrible. But with this, there's no way that any of these decisions weren't intentional. There's no way. So in that case, what were they trying to evoke here? Now, like, the Little Man sections added a level of surrealism and were a good pacing entity because I think this, as just a walking sim, would have felt like a bit of a feck you. But in the same breath, we had, like, the idea of this little, like, platforming companion that has a genuine effect on the world around it. What was that trying to say? Like... I mean, Edwin, there's also that possibility. Was this comprised of a bunch of store-bought assets and trying to cobble a thing together? I don't know. Usually, I can tell you. I'm very proud of my games literacy. I know what I'm talking about. But on this, fuck, it could be anything. Immortal N, I know what you mean. I kept thinking Little Man was a shorthand. Like, or it was meant to reference somebody or like a force or a person who was a big effect on their life. Or perhaps that was just the manner in which, you know, all research felt like a struggle, like a battle. You know? Shit, I don't know. You know what? This is my equivalent of the 200 hours do not play, right? I would not recommend this game to a lot of people. But we just played it, through it in its entirety. Fuck. Oh shit, Hunter. I hadn't considered that. Hunter was saying that it could be Cunningham's Law, which is the best way to get the right answer on the internet. Is not to ask a question, but to post the wrong answer. That it is a much more powerful tool to turn around and say something wrong to get people to share the story of what's right. But fuck. Alright. Friends, I'm going to pass you over to Fiona. Let's go. Let's get high as balls. Let's get high as balls and watch fish rolling down a hill. That's what I'd like to do. I think this game might have defeated me. Just intellectually, I think I'm beaten. And not in the Wanted Dead way of like Flavian Wade will arm man, but like fucking yo. Anyway, we've got Sea of Thieves tomorrow, so we can talk about it more then. And then oh yes, Saturday is running in the Slugcats. I had to think about that for a second. That was me staring off at my freaking calendar. So on Saturday, myself, Solon, and friends will be doing 4-player Raid World, which should be glorious chaos. Glorious chaos. Right! Teeny tiny credits for a teeny tiny stream. Oh, God, what a weird game. Yeah, Angel Kalina, I'm sorry you've had to do the double header of Weird Game and Weird Neighbors. Despite this being the oddest of days, J-Post, Vanderbeast, Wolfcrad, and Wheeler Dealer, thank you for throwing some bits in, you feckin' legends. Well, it all helps. Teeny tiny house order up to like earth-shattering setups. Caffeine Lizzie and Moose was in as well. Thank you very, very kindly for helping out today. And to Professor Nels, thank you for the raid. Sorry I brought you in on some feckin' strangeness, yo. Okay. So yeah, friends, it is Edwin. I'm there, but I can't fault its construction. And it's like its artistic choices were very specific and very jarring. Anyway, you know what? We can talk about this on Discord or otherwise, but yeah, yo, friendos, it is THC Thursday. And in that regard, the seagulls are yelling at me. That's not good. We can go see a very high Fiona and a very snoozy Amos attempt to roll a goldfish off a high beam. That goldfish is not going to make it. Yeah, I did not think that's where today's game was going to take us. And, like, thank you all for coming with me on this feckin' journey. So, yeah. Tomorrow, Sea of Thieves. Saturday, running the Slugcats. It's going to be feckin' good. Right. Yeah, I'm going to go eat a fucking edible. Go eat an edible and get weird with this. Have yourselves a lovely rest of your evening. I'll natter to you all on Discord later. And to be continued, friends. To be continued. Feckin' yo. The feckin' game!